Hey guys, it's the FOF once again with the FOF Guide. We have a new episode for you. I talked to a gentleman by the name of Gary Francesini, and he's a teacher at BCC. He actually teaches hairstyling and coloring and the business side of it and everything like that. So basically, I want to cater to other students as well. I don't want to just cater to the students that are in psychology or fine arts. I want to branch out a little bit, and I thought this would be a very interesting video for those particular students. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a good day. Hello, Gary.
Hi.
Thanks for having me in your wonderful home. I appreciate that.
No problem. Welcome.
Thank you. So basically, I just want to ask, what's your educational background?
I obviously post-secondary education. I hold a BC instructor's diploma, which is basically an education to be an adult educator. And I'm currently working on my Master's of Education at Simon Fraser University.
So what about the salon stuff?
And hair school. I went to hair school when I was about 19 years old, and then I apprenticed in a couple different salons on South Granville in Vancouver. So I've been in the hair industry for about 26 years now.
26 years. Wow. And so you also used to own your business as well, right?
Yes, I owned a salon in Fort Langley called ID Salon. It's still alive and well. I'm no longer an owner, as I am an educator full-time, but I still do work in the salon part-time as a hairstylist. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Well, I have no idea. I don't really know a lot about cutting hair and hair salons and stuff like that. So what does it take to be a really good student, like honestly?
So basically, to become a hairstylist, there's two options. You can either do an apprenticeship route, or you can do a foundation program at a hair school. Both are recognized by ITA, which is the Industry Training Authority that monitors all like apprentices and journeymen, and grants a red seal once you complete the two different pathways of the program. So I took a foundation program when I went into the industry, and they're 10 months long. You learn cutting, coloring, perming, hair relaxing, upstyling, men's cutting. I also now teach a foundation program at this point in my career. Or you can also do an apprenticeship route. So for myself, I did both. I did 10 months at a hair school, and then I did about 2 years apprenticing in high-end salons on South Granville. So they were higher end, they were more technical hair cutters. They were typically Vidal Sassoon trained, worked at places like Suki's in Vancouver. So I learned how to just perfect hair cutting, and it was a little more precision oriented than what I learned in hair school in the year 1990. So since then the industry has evolved a lot, and I believe hair schools are a lot better and a lot more thorough. So basically, the person who takes a 10-month program takes their program, graduates, they can go out, if they're lucky, they'll get a job as a junior stylist, where they learn to develop their skills and perfect their skills. Or sometimes you have to do the apprenticeship route. No one will let you touch a client, so it just depends on your skill and where your skills are at. So it's entirely up to the individual and the salon owner. When I owned my salon, I did take students straight from school, but I would give them an opportunity to do models for assessment. So I would get them to do a haircut model, a men's haircut model, an updo, and color work, so dimensional color technique like foil highlighting, and they had to pass all those tests to be allowed to work on the clients.
Is it like different courses? Or is it just a whole day they're with you doing learning stuff, or how does it work exactly?
The school?
Because I got no idea.
The school. Right? So at the school, there's usually about 6 courses per term. So one would be called hair cutting, one would be called hair coloring, one would be called perming, which also includes like straightening treatments, and then the other one would be hairstyling, so focusing on blow drying, how to set the hair, how to style the hair for weddings, etc. And then the other course usually is something called salon business. So that teaches them the customer relations side of things, customer service side at the front end of the salon, how to sell retail products for the clients to take home to recreate the same look, and how to run their own business, so payroll, commission structures, all of that. So each term, our program that I teach in is 3 terms long. They have all 6 of those courses.
And
in
this is
each
at
term.
VCC, right?
That's at VCC
Okay.
and any school that is ITA recognized. And most schools follow some kind of systematic, way of program like that. So yeah, so they do that for 3 terms. And then like I was saying, when they go to the industry, salon owners are going to ask them to show them their work. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like a painter, you
Right.
or a filmmaker. You got to
Yeah.
show them the films first
Yeah.
before you go out
Yeah.
and able to do
So,
it and get the money,
Yeah,
right?
so we're gonna wanna check that before we let you work in our salon. And then if we think you're good, but you're not quite ready to do everything, we'll say, okay, well, you can do this on the clients, but we're gonna reteach you how to do this. So it's, and hairdressing in general, I would say it takes a good 2 to 5 years when you first go up to the industry to get really good at it. Cause it's, it's practice makes perfect kind of scenario. Like, doing the same style cut and duplicating it over and over again, you're gonna get better at it just like a machine, right? So it takes time. It's not an instant thing. So at the end of 10 months, nobody's perfect, right? So hairdressing, like anything, everybody's a lifelong learner.
So it's full.
I'm learning new techniques.
So it's like full time, right? Full time.
Yeah, and the program that
10
we teach
10
is a
months.
10-month program. It's full time.
Wow. So what does it run from September till June or something around?
At VCC where I work, we have multiple intakes. So we usually have 3 classes start in September, 2 start in January, and 2 start in March, and 2 start in May. So we have.
So it's pretty busy.
It's a very big school. It's a very big school.
So basically, to be a successful there, you got to come on time for class.
Yes.
You have.
Yes.
Like attend. How do they?
Attendance is mandatory
Okay.
because it is a Red Seal program. They're earning hours towards their
Mhm.
Red Seal.
Yeah.
So they basically get credit for 1,300 hours while they're at our institution. And I take attendance every day, and they're not allowed to miss. They're only allowed to miss so many days per term, and if they don't, they are terminated as students. So.
And they lose their money.
Of course, as any school, they would lose their money
Yeah.
after a certain amount of days. There is no refunds, no matter what university or college you go
Okay, I
to,
gotcha,
right?
I
So
gotcha.
depends on that college's policy, of course.
Yeah. So the successful students are the ones that come on time. They do the work. They pay
Yeah.
attention. Now,
Pay
is there-
attention, apply themselves, creative, have a little bit of flair. I think that a lot of people can learn to cut hair. A lot of different people can learn to cut
Yeah.
hair and be a hairdresser.
Yeah.
But some people do have a natural flair or tendency or ability that I do observe at a very early stage of the program, and others could develop it in time. And I think it's fair to say there's hairdressers who it's a job for them, and there's hairdressers that it's a passion. Just like any line of work.
Well, I like what
Right.
I do when I work at, where I work. I'm not gonna say
Mhm.
where I work, but, I like it there. Feels
Right.
good to come in
Right.
every day and help the
Yeah,
customer.
so- So if a hairstylist feels that, then they're gonna be great. I think that, besides having technical skills and being good at the actual craft, I think a very important part of a hairdresser is having empathy for their guests, their clients in their chair.
So in a way, you're kind of like a psychologist to some extent when you talk about the problems.
Yeah.
Like not so private.
Yeah, people tell us a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
We
that's
have a lot of
stuff when you
confidences between us and
Yeah.
our clients.
You sign an agreement?
No,
Never
we don't,
confidentiality.
we don't go that far, but I guess you could, but we don't go that far. But you have to care about that person in your chair, and you have to care about their hair, and you have to care about their happiness. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll encounter students that just don't seem to care or have empathy for others, and I sometimes question how long they'll last in the industry, because you have to at least be able to fake it. If you don't care, you have to at least pretend you care. You've got to remember, hairdressers have the license to touch. So when you touch people, there's energy, you're invading their space, you better be warm and friendly. If you're, aggressive or quiet or awkward, the client can feel that too. So you kind of have to be a very well-rounded individual to be a successful. If we are talking about successful hairdressers in this interview, I would regard myself as a successful hairdresser, and I think my main success is I've had good, long, deep, lasting connections with my clients.
Okay.
And some of my clients have been my clients the whole 26 years and still are to this day of my career, but I care about them deeply, and I do tend to bend over backwards for them, go that extra mile, and While that seems out of style, in some service industries, I think that that never goes out of style, and that's very important, and particularly when you're providing a service and you're in somebody's space. It makes
Absolutely.
connections. So.
So, I mean,
And as far as staying successful, hairdressers constantly need to go for upgrading. So after you leave a 10-month program, you're going to take advanced education seminars. You're going to see if the salon you're going to work at has an education program, because you're always learning newer trends, newer ways of doing things, newer chemicals, newer technology.
so would you consider learning cutting hair and stuff like that, and hair salon stuff? Would you consider that a bit of a trade almost to some extent? What do you think?
Hairdressing? Oh, absolutely, it's a trade. It's a trade. I think it's a trade with some artistry and craft, but a lot of trades have crafts and craftsmen.
And you got to prove yourself as well.
Right, so no, it's definitely a trade. The school I teach at, it is part of the School of Trades. So our school is under the umbrella of School of Trades. So I would say hairdressing is definitely a trade, like anything.
So how did you get from where you were owning a salon to starting to teach? Because that's not an easy thing to do. And you mentor people before in your salon. Is that correct? Yes, you mentor people
it's not necessarily an easy leap to make, but I'm very fortunate to work at Vancouver Community College. It's an excellent place to work. It's a wonderful opportunity that has changed my life in many ways. I've been there 8 years. I feel that some of the ways I made that transition was I trained people in my salon and had stylists mentor me, junior stylists.
Like Jason, I remember.
Yes. There was a couple people in particular who went from start to finish, started off as assistants and became stylists.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me see that journey of education and see how to take somebody from no skills to being skillful. So I think that was a very big step in my career. And of course then I just took the bold move of actually applying and going in, and you start off on call. There's no guarantee of work. You start off on call, and I go in and I go in and job shadow, basically donate my time, and those didn't take me long, but I did. And then the other problem was I had to separate myself from my clients to make myself available at the college, because I was on call. So they'd call me at 10 o'clock at night, can you teach tomorrow morning? And now I had a busy day of clients at the salon, so I had to cancel on my clients to go into the college. So,
So it's not an easy thing to do, but it's
in the
end.
I was lucky to be in a position to do it financially, and I could juggle it and swing it. But it is challenging for some people. It is something that I tell new on-call instructors who want to work with us to say you have to be able to drop everything to come and teach.
Yeah.
Because if you say no too many times, it might eliminate your chances of actually getting on full time.
I think over a certain amount of time, you have to do a certain amount of hours before they cut you off, right? Kind of deal, right? Is that how it works?
The college?
Yeah.
Well, you have to work a lot of hours before you get regular tenure.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a regularized instructor, meaning I have a permanent job, basically, as permanent as possible in this day and age.
And you taught in high school. What's the difference between high school students and college students?
Yes, I also sometimes teach in our high school hair program at a technical high school in Maple Ridge, BC. And the students are younger. They're usually in grade 11 or grade 12. And keep in mind, everybody in that room is in grade 11 or grade 12. And at the college downtown, I have people that are, just out of high school, so they might be 18 or 17, and I have people that are 50 or 60 sometimes. So in that classroom, I have all age groups, which can sometimes make the younger ones mature up a little bit, I guess you'd say. And so it creates a more serious classroom environment, I guess you'd say. A little more focused. And at the high school, everybody's young. They're still attending high school classes part-time. Yeah. They're still preparing to graduate, go to prom. They have boyfriend problems and girlfriend problems and parent problems.
Yeah.
And problems with attendance, problems getting to school on time, problems with their makeup that morning, problems with their hair, problems with their outfit, problems with life. So it's a younger environment, and there's a lot more classroom management skills needed there, because I'm sometimes in the room with 16 high school girls, teenage girls. So
it's mostly girls, or what exactly is it
mostly
like?
girls still. Sometimes there's a couple boys. I would say hairdressing's female dominated, but some of the most successful hairdressers are male. But the majority, say, you know, the class is typically 95% female, so there'll be like, 18 girls and 2 boys, or sometimes no
It
guys.
sounds like a fine arts course or something.
Yeah,
Psychology's the same way.
Traditional.
You went to SFU as well, or didn't you take some
Douglas.
Douglas College, you took some, how many courses did you take there?
Oh, lots. Almost half a BA there.
Good for you.
Yeah, but there's a lot of not as many men in the industry for sure. So yes,
So is this some kind of plug to get more men out there?
Well, I think that traditionally men have been swayed from certain trades because people indicated that those are female-oriented trades, or you would be manly if you went to those trades, or that's only for a certain type of guy. And that's not the case, and there's all sorts of men in the hair industry, and they do very, very well. Very well. A lot of women prefer going to a male stylist. Not to say female stylists aren't successful or busy, they certainly are, I know many. But but back to the high school, it's a very different teaching environment, and I feel a lot like a parent sometimes when I'm there, and I also have to liaison with people's parents. So at the college, we don't do that, because when somebody's 19, I don't have to talk to their parents. But when somebody's under 19, their parents can call me, and I can talk to them again. So.
Okay. Well, Gary, I appreciate all the information.
No
Thank
problem.
you so much.
You're welcome, Jamie.
And I hope to see you again.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Well, guys, I hope that was a really good video, very informational, you know what I mean? I think that Gary had a lot to say, and he's very passionate about his job, which is kind of exciting for me, and I think he gave such good information. I hope to see you again, and see you in the next episode. Bye.